Look at the board. See, these are the things related to the aligned angles. If sum of two angles is 90 degrees, then sin alpha is equals to cos beta and cos alpha is equals to sin beta. Similar thing happens for tan cot and cosecant secant also. If sum of two angles is 90, then tan of one angle is equals to the cot of the other. In the same manner, cosecant of one angle is equal to the secant of other. And with these three, we can generate some more different logics and identities also. See, usually we know that sin square alpha plus cos square alpha is 1. But what is cos alpha here? Sin. See, actually we know that sin square alpha plus cos square alpha 1. But since here cos alpha is sin beta, you just replace sin beta with cos alpha in the standard identity. What we know? We know that sin square alpha plus cos square alpha is equals to 1. Here since cos alpha is sin beta, replace this with sin beta, then you have that sin square alpha plus sin square beta is equals to 1. And in the same manner, if you replace this sin alpha with cos beta, then it becomes like cos square alpha plus cos square beta 1. Just a simple logic if alpha plus beta is 90 degrees. So, see, if I have two angles whose summation is 90 degrees, then sine of one angle is equals to the cos of other. For suppose say 40 and 50. 40 plus 50 is 90, right? So, since 40 plus 50 is 90, then sine 40 degrees value is directly sine equals to the cos 50 degrees value. Because the summation is 90, alpha plus beta is 90, then sine alpha is cos beta. So, I will give you some problems related to this type, okay, after this. Then beat it. Here alpha plus beta is 90 and their angles are complementary. You know it, right? Here alpha plus beta is 180. If alpha plus beta is 180, we know that the angles are supplementary. But here in particular, don't bother about the names whether they are complementary or supplementary. Just think about the sum of the angles. Here since alpha plus beta is 180 degrees, sin alpha can be written as sin of 180 minus beta. Alpha is equals to 180 minus beta, right? And that sin of 180 minus beta, it comes under second quadrant and it is sin beta. So, if alpha plus beta is 180 degrees, sin alpha is sin beta. Whereas when you think about cos of 180 minus beta, in second quadrant cos is negative and that's why this cos of 180 minus beta will become minus cos beta. So, cos alpha is minus cos beta and if you send that this side, cos alpha plus cos beta is 0. See, actually all these things, no need to memorize all these things, okay? Just observe it, that's enough. What happens if sum is 190 degrees? What happens if sum is 180 degrees? That's what you need to observe. If you observe, then that observation skill, that attitude automatically helps you to solve many problems related to this type, okay? Have a look and then I will give you some questions to solve now. Look at the problems on the board. We need to solve all these problems just by using this particular logic. If sum of two angles is 90 degrees, then sin alpha is cos beta as well as tan alpha is cot beta and similar type of things we are going to utilize. Look at the first problem. They are asking you to find the value of tan 36 and cot 54. Look at the angles first. The angles are here what? 36 degrees and then 54 degrees and clear the sum is 90 degrees. Since 36 plus 54 is 90, then for sure tan of one angle is equals to the cot of other angle. That in the sense tan 36 degrees is equals to cot 54 degrees is true and then from there this value is 1. Very clear task, okay? Since sum of the angles is 90, then automatically you will get the result as 1. There ends the first problem. And now look at the second problem. Here also the involved angles are 36 and 54 only, whereas the ratios, trigonometric ratios are sin and cos. Since 36 plus 54 is 90, tan 36 is cot 54, in a similar manner, sin 36 is equals to cos 54, whereas sin 54 is equals to cos 36. As I told you, sin of one angle is equals to the cos of the other. If alpha plus beta is 90, sin alpha is cos beta, cos alpha is sin beta. So sin of one angle is sin of cos of the other, cos of one angle is sine of the other. So in that scenario, sine 36 and sine 54 are equals to the cos 54 and cos 36 respectively. And now look, you just rewrite this sine 36 as cos 54 and this sine 54 as cos 36. Then at the end, product of these two and product of those two will get cancelled, leaves you answer as 0. Is it right? And that's the second question. Look at these two problems, and I am going to erase these two for the space concern. See, those two problems are just related to the angles 36 and 54. Where 36 plus 54 is 90 degrees. So tan 36 is cot 54. Sin 36 is cos 54. Right? Right. And then look at the C bit, 37C. How to do? Right? See, 37C is a problem just based on what? Triangle ABC. The question itself, they mentioned that the triangle is ABC. In triangle ABC, we know that sum of the three angles is 180 degrees. So angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equals to 180 degrees. But here you need to establish a relation between A plus B by 2 and C by 2, and that's why you need to apply by 2 for all these things. You will get that, yeah, A by 2 plus B by 2 plus C by 2 is 90 degrees. And now one side I have A plus B by 2 and the other side I have C by 2. So send that C by 2 that side. Then it becomes like A plus B by 2 is equals to 90 degrees minus C by 2. Right? Very clear. And now what we need? See, I need tan of A plus B by 2. But what I have A plus B by 2 as 90 minus C by 2. So since I need tan of A plus B by 2, just apply tan on both sides. Then from there you will get that tan of A plus B by 2 is equals to tan of 90 minus C by 2. I think it is very clear. Right? See, triangle sum 180. If you divide with 2, A plus B by 2 is 90 minus C by 2. Apply tan on both sides. Then the left side is just like tan of A plus B by 2 itself. Whereas the right side is tan of 90 minus. 90 minus is the first quadrant, which is clearly positive, and 90 degrees is an odd number. Then tan will become cot, and this is cot C by 2. Very clear. Just have a look at this. In a triangle ABC, tan of A plus B by 2 is cot C by 2. Similarly, you can prove these type of problems related to sine and cos also. Right? Just I mentioned here one example, that's it. And now look at the problem, another one, where cos 7a is equals to sine of a minus 6. Look at that. See, we need to solve this. Actually, we are discussing about the problems where the sum of the angles is 90 degrees. In the same case, if you think, we know that sine alpha is equals to cos beta if alpha plus beta is equals to 90 degrees. It is an if and only if condition. If alpha plus beta is 90, then for sure sin alpha is cos beta. If sin alpha is cos beta, then sum of the angles is 90 degrees. So, in this particular case, sum of the angles should be 90, right? Since cos and sin are equal. So, you need to equalize the sum of the angles. 7a plus a minus 6 is equals to 90 degrees. And if you solve, this is 8a and that is 96. And we know that 12 8 is 96. Then your answer for this is 12 degrees. Is it clear? Have a look at the problems. All those problems are just related to the sum of the angles if it is 90 degrees. Okay? Look at the problems on the board. All these three problems are very simple to solve, and these problems are based on that sum of the angles is 90. What will happen if the sum of the angles is 90? With the same logic I am going to solve. Okay? I will start my discussion with what? The C bit. Okay? Yeah. How to solve this C? Just have a look at this. Tan 1 degrees, tan 2 degrees, tan 3 degrees, tan 4 degrees, and so on. Yeah. What we have up to? Tan 1, tan 2, yeah, I missed something. Tan 87, tan 88, and then tan 89. Everything we need to maintain. Right? It must follow a pattern, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. 87, 88, 89. All those angles are involved here. Yeah. Right. For your convenience, I am somewhat prolonging this. Tan 1 degrees into tan 2 degrees into and so on into the middle value I am going to identify tan 44 degrees into tan 45 degrees into tan 46 degrees into and so on into tan 88 degrees into tan 89 degrees. Have a look at this, both are same actually. The question is nothing but the product of tan 1, tan 2, tan 3 and so on up to tan 89. With the first look I identified that there are round about 89 terms and maybe the middle one round about 45. That's why I am going to include that also in the total sum. See, tan 1, tan 2 and so on, tan 44, tan 45 up to tan 46 and then up to tan 89. Now look at the problem, what will happen. See, tan 89 degrees. If you look at this tan 89 degrees, this tan 89 degrees is nothing but cot 1 degrees only. Is it right or wrong? Have a look at this. Tan 89 degrees is equals to cot 1 I am saying. What you say? Whether it is right or wrong, that's what you need to mention. Absolutely it is right. Why? Because have a look, I told you that if alpha plus beta is equals to 90 degrees, then tan alpha is equals to cot beta. Is it right? Then use the logic for the angles. 1 plus, yeah, or otherwise 89 plus 1. 89 plus 1 is equals to 90 degrees. So tan 89 degrees is equals to cot 1 degrees. Is it right? 89 and 1, the summation is 90. So with the same logic, tan 89 is cot 1. So tan 89 is cot 1. Not only that, tan 89 is cot 1. Also, I can identify this tan 88 as cot 2 degrees. Is there anything wrong? Nothing wrong. With the same logic, look at the angles 88 and 2. The summation is 90. That's why tan 88 is cot 2 degrees. And now, before this tan 88, what we have tan 87, and it is nothing but what? Cot 3 degrees. Likewise, if you think from the ending of the expression, the last one tan 89 is cot 1 degrees, and before that we have tan 88, which is cot 2 degrees, and before the tan 88 we have tan 87 and which is cot 3 degrees, and it is all just because of this particular logic that if the sum of the angles is 90, then tan alpha is cot beta. And now if you continue identifying that these tans as cot up to this tan 46 is nothing but what? Cot 44 degrees. Why? Because this 46 and 44, if you add, the summation is 90. So look at the problem, what is going to happen now. And this tan 45 value is directly 1, we know it, the middle value tan 45 degrees is 1. And don't change these terms, tan 1, tan 2 and so on, tan 44, all are the same. Once again I am repeating you, the given problem is nothing but the product of the terms from tan 1 to tan 89. See, I included the middle term also in the product, first just for our observation. And now if you look at the terms from the ending of that, tan 89 degrees is just nothing but cot 1 degrees, because 89 plus 1 is 90. And 82 plus 2 is also 90, so tan 82 is cot 2. 87 and 3 is also 90, so tan 87 is cot 3. And then this tan 46 is cot 44, because 46 plus 44 is 90. At the middle we have tan 45, whose answer is 1. And now, since it is 1, in the multiplication, no need to include that 1. Now at the end what we have? Tan 1 degrees into tan 2 degrees into and so on into tan 44 degrees in one group. This is 1. And next what we have? Tan 46. Tan 46 is how much actually? Tan 46 I note it as cot 44. Cot 44 degrees into cot 43 degrees into and so on into cot 2 degrees and cot 1 degrees. And now look at the products again. See, here at the start I have tan 1, there at the end I have cot 1. What will happen for tan 1 and cot 1 if you multiply? See, we know that tan theta and cot theta are reciprocal to one another. So tan 1 and cot 1 will get cancelled here. Tan 1 into cot 1 is 1. So the product is 1, just neglect it. Tan 2 and cot 2, the product is again 1. In the same way, if you move, this tan 44 and cot 44 also get cancelled, and at the end you left with 1, and your answer for this problem is 1. Have a look at this. This problem involves with some simple logics, okay? You see, if you are perfect at the logics, if you are interested to solve the problem, then this type of problems will give us much joy, okay? They all looks like a game for us if you are interested towards this, okay? So first of all, try to develop that interest towards the problem, and that interest will give you much confidence to solve many other problems also, right? Have a look at the problem first, and then I am going to solve the other bits A and B. Now look at 38B. The problem involves with cos, and the angles are from 1, 2, 3 and so on, 178, 170 and 180. Yeah, at the end what we have here? Cos 180 degrees. What is the value of cos 180? First of all, try to identify it. See, 180 degrees is a known angle, right? Yeah. Right, or otherwise, like previous problem, I can write many terms here. That is equals to cos 1 degrees plus cos 2 degrees plus and so on, plus cos 89 degrees plus cos 90 degrees plus cos 91 degrees plus and so on, plus cos 178 degrees plus cos 179 degrees plus cos 180 degrees. Okay, yeah, just there are 180 angles, 180 terms here. Just identify the middle one as cos 90. That's why before the term and next term of the middle terms, okay, everything I included. Now see, you just leave about the values. Cos 90 degrees is how much? See, actual task is we need to add all those things. The sum of all those 180 terms we need to identify. First of all, it is very easy for us to identify that cos 90 degrees is 1. Is it right? 1 or 0? See, 0, right? Sin 0 is 0, sin 90 is 1, cos 0 is 1 and cos 90 degrees is 0. Right? Cos 90 degrees is 0. And then what you say about cos 180 degrees? See, cos 0 degrees is 1 and cos 180 degrees is minus 1. So you need to identify these two first. Yeah. Cos 90 degrees is 0 whereas cos 180 degrees is minus 1. See, in the meanwhile we have many angles to identify, but no need all those things. Right. And now think about this cos 179 degrees. Cos 179 degrees is just nothing but minus cos 1 degrees. Okay. How? Right? That's what I need to mention. See, again we are using the logic which is 36b. If alpha plus beta is equals to 180 degrees, then cos alpha is equals to minus cos beta, or I may say cos alpha plus cos beta is equals to 0 degrees. You just keep in mind it. If alpha plus beta is equals to 90 degrees, then just directly cos alpha plus cos beta is 0. Alpha plus beta should be 180, right? Think about the first angle, it is 1 degree, and look at the last angle, it is 179, and this 1 degree and this 179 degrees, if you add 180, since the angles summation is 180, then cos sum of their cosines is 0 degrees. Okay, so to use this logic, I need to collect those two terms. Okay, I need to collect those two terms. What will happen at the end? If you look once again, by keeping this alpha plus beta 180, then cos alpha plus cos beta is equals to 0. Just look at this cos 1 degree and this cos 179 degrees. See, cos 1 degrees and this cos 189 degrees, if you add these two, and your answer at the end is 0, because look at the angles 1 and 179, summation is 180, and this cos 2 degrees and this cos 178 degrees, if you combine these two angles, again the summation is 0. If you add these two, second term from the start, second term from the end, if you add those two, the summation is 0. And then the next angle cos 3 degrees as well as this next angle also becomes 0. And this cos 89 degrees and cos 91 degrees, again the summation is 0. Look at the angles once. What is the angle here? 89 degrees. What is the angle here? 91 degrees. Add those two, what will happen? 180 degrees, right? Since sum of the angles is 180, then cos of sum of the cosines is 0 degrees. Again I am writing here for your sake. If alpha plus beta is equals to 180 degrees, then cos alpha plus cos beta is equals to 0. Right? With that logic, I am calculating the sum of all these terms as -1, because this is 0, middle one is 0, and all these 89 terms, with this 89 terms the summation is again 0, but at the end I have cos 180 degrees and whose value is -1, so that -1 will remain there, and at the end the answer for this problem is -1 only. Okay, once again I am repeating you, have a look at this. The thing involved in this is, if alpha plus beta is 180, then cos alpha plus cos beta is 0. That's the simple thing which I am using here. So for that, look at the first angle, cos 1. Look at the last angle, cos 179. Sum of these two angles is what? See, sum of those two angles is 180, and that's why cos of this angle plus cos of that angle is 0. So the sum of those two is 0. Similarly, if you think, sum of the second term, sum of the third terms and everything is 0, cos 90 is itself 0, and at the end sum of all those terms is 0 except that cos 180, whose value is -1, and your answer is -1. Have a look at this. (38a) sin square 1, sin square 3 and so on, sin square 89. As I mentioned you in the previous problems, first of all, elaborately I am going to write this. Sin square 1, sin square 3 and so on. See, look there, all odd terms are involved. Sin square 3 plus sin square of 43 plus sin square of 45 plus sin square of 47 plus and so on, plus sin square of 87. Yeah, I need some more space actually. Sin square of 87 plus sin square of 89 degrees. Look there. Yeah. See, sin square 1, sin square 3, sin square 43, sin square 45 plus sin square 47 and so on. Sin square 87 plus sin square 89. The summation you need to find. See, look at there. This is all, these are odd numbers first. And the next thing what I am going to utilize is, yeah, if alpha plus beta is equals to 90 degrees. Look there. See, the problem itself suggesting you, this is 1, that is 89, the summation is 90. If alpha plus beta is 90 degrees, then sin alpha is equals to cos beta. This is one idea. And in the other way, sin square alpha plus sin square beta is equals to 1. I already told you, right? Sin square alpha plus sin square beta is equals to 1. Is it clear or not? Actually, for all the angles, what we have in our minds, for every time the basic trigonometric identity is what? Sin square alpha plus cos square alpha is equals to 1. But if alpha plus beta is equals to 90, we have that sin alpha is equals to cos beta and cos alpha is equals to sin beta. These two I have. Then you just replace cos alpha with sin beta here. Then it becomes sin square alpha plus sin square beta 1. Once again I am repeating you, if sum of the angles is 90, alpha plus beta is 90, then you need to identify that sin square alpha plus sin square beta is equals to 1. How we identified it? Just by utilizing these notations with this identity, you will get that sin square alpha plus sin square beta 1. Since the problem completely involves with sin square, I need to utilize this particular logic that sin square alpha plus sin square beta is equals to 1 if alpha plus beta is 90 degrees. And clearly here, look at the angles. Yeah, this is 1. This 1 and the last we have 89 degrees. 1 plus 89 is 90. Look at the second angle, 3. And look at this 87. Again it is 90. 3 plus 87 is 90. And the next angle here it is 5. And before that here I have 85. This 5 degrees and that 85 degrees is also 90. So sum of the angles is 90. Look at here, 43 and this is 47. 43 plus 47 is again what? 90. Since the sum of the angles is 90, then for us it is very easy to announce that sin square alpha plus sin square beta is equals to 1. So now if you combine the sin square of those angles, the result for each and every group is 1. Yeah, look at here again. Now see, this is sin square 1 and this sin square 1 as well as this sin square 89 if you add as in the previous case, the sum of these two numbers is 1. Why? Because sum of the angles is 90, right? 1 and 89. Then sine square 3 and then this sine square 87. If you add these two, again your answer is 1 here. Because 3 and 87, the summation is 90. If sum of the angles is 90, then sum of the sine squares of those angles is 1 and this is 1. So if you move like this for the remaining angles, this is sine square 43 and this is sine square 47, again the summation is what? 1. See, all you have ones in between these, okay? 43 and 47, again the summation is 1. See, 90. Sum of the angles is 90, so sine square 43 plus sine square 47 is 1. At middle we have sine square 45 and that sine square 45 is 1 by 2. I think you are aware, okay? Sine 45 degrees is 1 by root 2, so sine square 45 is 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 2 and here all we have ones. How many ones I have? See, look at the group. See how many terms I have here? Here totally there are 1, 3 and so on 43 odd numbers. Since there are 43 odd numbers, the number of terms may be how many? Okay, the number of terms may be 44 terms here, okay? 2 into, not 44, 22 terms. Look at once again. See, sine square 1, sine square 3, sine square 43, okay? 43 is which odd term? 43 is 22nd odd term. So I have 26 terms in this group. In this group I have 22 terms. In this group also I have 22 terms, okay? 43 means 2 into 22 minus 1. So 43 is 22nd odd number. That's why it is very clear that there exist 22 terms in this group and there exist 22 terms in this group. We are combining one from this group and one from that group. That results out 1. So how many ones are there here if you count? If you count totally there are 22 ones. And if you add 22 ones is 22. And we are going to calculate the sum. See, there are 22 ones along with 1 by 2. So the result is 22 plus 1 by 2. If you simplify, and it may be 45 by 2. Is it clear? Have a look at the problem once again. I will repeat for you. If sum of the angles is 90, then sum of the sine squares of those angles is 1. So look at the angles. Here it is 1 and there it is 89. 89 and 1. The sum of the angles is 90. Since sum of the angles is 90, then you need to think about sine squares. Then sine square of this angle and sine square of that angle results of 1. See, again 3 and 87 is 90. So sine square of these two angles is 1. Like that, if you combine, 43 and 47 is also 90. So sine square 43 and sine square 47 also gives us 1. So there are many ones. How many ones? To count those number of ones, you need to count the number of terms. Here there are 22 terms. There I have 22 terms. Totally 22 ones we will get, and then 22 ones along with 1 by 2. And your answer for this is 22 1 by 2. And that's for today's session, right?